Hi everyone, I'm Chrissy B, host of the UK's only TV show dedicated to mental health and well-being. On every programme you see myself and my resident experts giving you tips and advice, all with the aim of helping you look after your mental health and well-being. But perhaps you think that we don't go through our own problems and challenges, that because we're on TV, everything is great. Chrissy B Show family, has this year been a bed of roses for you?
No.
Has everything been super easy?
No.
Okay, so today you're going to get to know us on a different level because we're going to share some of our achievements this year, but also some of our challenges. So it's not often that we have all of you together, so welcome everybody to the show. We do have a few people missing. So first of all, I'm just going to pick someone at random and ask, Hannah, my darling, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Chrissy.
Hannah, you are one of our nutritionists on the programme.
Yeah.
Bringing us lovely recipes and lots of tips and advice. What challenges have you faced this year?
Well, I guess my challenge is one of my achievements. So this year I got my first book published, which is a great achievement.
Yeah.
But there was lots of trials and tribulations and challenges that got me to the place to the end product. So
Would you care to say what a few of those were?
well, I think sometimes, you have when you're writing, you have lots of deadlines, and then you think that you're going to the deadline, so you gear yourself up to that being publication date, and then something behind the scenes goes wrong, and you're back to editing again, and it's just sort of up and down with emotions and up and down with changing schedules, deadlines, and until finally the day comes and you that's the moment where you just sort of relax. And
you've launched your book.
Pardon?
Well, you've launched your book now. So what's it called?
It's called The Best Possible You.
Wonderful.
And it's a nutritional healing guide to every organ in your body. So it takes you on a journey around the body, tells you what your organs do and where they live.
Okay, wonderful. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, one person actually that has been through a lot this year, and you would never know because she didn't say anything to me, I found out recently, and you have been on one journey, Audrey, I don't even know how to describe it. Can you tell us some of the things that you've been through and how come you're still smiling?
Well, my year started off in A&E because I got a corneal ulcer, so that was a lot of fun with my eyes, which is why for the whole of this year I've been back in my glasses, and that's that. Now, sadly, shortly after that, my mum passed away unexpectedly. She had pneumonia, and even though on the phone we were talking and it was, I'm going back to bingo next Monday, that was it. That was over one weekend. Being an only child, had to manage all of the funeral arrangements and so on. Once that had all kind of quietened down, my dog then got pancreatitis. Luckily, she pulled through, but she's on a completely new diet now. We've had to change everything that we feed her and so on. And it was just one of those years where everything I think I'd always thought I had, I pretty much lost, which was a very strange situation to be in. For me, what got me through was partly being here on the show with all of these amazingly inspirational people who just keep going, who just, no matter what, are there, they're resilient, they're motivating, they're supportive, and also the people I surrounded myself with. A lot of people did say to me, how do you keep smiling through all of this? And largely it's because I think difficult situations not only bring out the best in you, but bring out the best in other people as well. And all that was happening was that I was being able to reflect the kindness, the support, the understanding, the non-judgment around me. And that's what really got me through the year. And I think a nice way of looking at it is just with people, we have people who are there to build us up, to support us and to look after us and look out for us. And it's always a case of being grateful for that, being grateful for being around that and reflecting that back to them when you can.
It's amazing. I had no idea. It was only when we were putting the show together that you actually said anything. I said, I just want to give you a big hug.
Staying working for me helps. And not judging was really, really important as well.
Wow, okay. Let's go to Rob now, the only man in the room today. Well, apart from my cameraman, sorry. Tell us, how's this year been for you? Any challenges that you had to face?
I think this year has flown by.
Yeah.
You know, I blinked and all of a sudden, 2018 has passed. I think the challenges have come from a change in work life and work and home life. So and they have actually, I think, built me as a person. That's been the challenge. Has been the success of overcoming these things. So, for example, both my children have gone through health issues this year and have come successfully out the other side. And there's been a change in working pattern for my wife, for example. So I've become more of a dad role. So it's been a challenge because I like routine, and anybody who's got children knows that you have to adapt if you with routines. So I think the highlight is the fact that I still feel that I'm still above water. And I'm still smiling. But what it's given me is the joy of learning how to manage situations and to see my eldest, for example, back on the sports field and my youngest back on stage doing some performing. So those have been the real highlights. And I think I've learned actually there are sometimes more important things in life than sticking to a routine.
Yes, indeed. Now, Rob, I have to say, Rob and Audrey as well, you've obviously both come through the difficulties that you had, but initially when things happened, what was kind of going through your mind? What was happening there? And how did you keep positive?
I think for me, it just seemed to be one thing after another thing after another thing. And I got to a point where I was actually afraid to book anything in advance because in my head, I was just, what's the next thing that's going to go wrong? And it was largely about just then taking one day at a time and honestly being grateful for all the things that I did have because it allowed me to focus on what I do have, who's around me. And that was the most important thing. That's actually what got me through.
Okay. How about you, Rob? What kind of thoughts came to your mind?
I think I've always been Mr. Positivity, and even in difficult situations, like I can see and I believe that things are going to work out. Okay. But I've certainly learned who my real friends are, and who the really good members of the family are. Because of the support, and what people have said is you've always supported us. It's about time you receive some support, for these issues. So I think good things go round and they come around.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's hear from Natalia now, our resident fitness expert on the program, who's always getting us fit and sweaty.
Try not to sweaty.
So tell us, Natalia, any difficulties that you had this year and how you overcame them?
So my challenges are my achievements as well. I've had few. Not everyone knows probably, but I'm a competitive boxer as well. So I had...
Watch your back, Rob.
So I had 5 fights this year. I've won 4 of them, one with TKO against the Metropolitan Police. So
Well done.
First time and the only time when you're able to legally actually have that situation with police. One lost, but that was very great and difficult fight because I represented London on national championship. So that was great, but also a challenge, massive mental and physical challenge. Because boxing is for me more mental than physical. So it's amazing how this sport is playing a very big and emotional role in my life as well as physical.
Wow.
So that's one. I've also traveled a lot this year. I've decided to leave UK and move to United States, and I've been in and out. So that's been a challenge, but also a great decision because I felt like I need to change something, and it is always a challenge.
Was it scary?
Not necessarily scary, but you just get out of your comfort zone. You have your life set. I've been in this country for more or less 10 years, so you have everything set, and now you're changing situation, changing place, changing people. So it's a lot of excitement, but at the same time a lot of fears.
Yeah.
And so I would say it's both ways. my challenges are my achievements.
Okay.
And also developing more my own brand, my name, NK Do It With Nat, living completely, being completely self-employed and working on that. That was a big challenge, but also a step forward. So leaving something behind and trying to really go for it full on 100%, don't hold back. So I felt like that was something that those three are the biggest challenges.
Okay, all right. So Natalia, congratulations on your achievements.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to go to a break shortly, but I do have some questions in here that now our guests don't know what the questions are. So I'm going to pass this to Hannah. Can you pick a question for me, Hannah, my darling, and answer it for us?
Just like...
Yes. Okay. What does it say? Read a question out for us.
If I don't like it, can I change it?
No, because I've got the box.
Oh, God. Share a personal fact no one would ever guess about you. I'm putting someone on the spot, Chrissy. Personal fact. I can tap dance.
Can you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I think we need to see that.
Well, I promise in the next few shows I'll bring you my tap shoes.
All right then, okay. All right, thank you very much for sharing that. Oh, one more. Audrey.
Okay.
I'm picking the people that have spoken already and then I'll introduce the others to you.
If you could be in the film of your choice, what film would you choose and what character would you play? For me, that's got to be Gone with the Wind, and I would play Scarlett O'Hara.
Okay.
Absolutely adore her. She's very strong, gets through an awful lot of stuff. So I
Okay,
think
all right, cool. And let's pass this back to Rob now. Yeah, you keep that one. Rob?
Let's discuss anxiety.
Get Marilyn peeking over
If
your
you hold
shoulder.
that for me. What is your favourite smell, and what memory does it remind you of? Well, my favourite smell is the smell of my children.
Oh,
And it reminds me of what fun it is to be a dad.
that's lovely. Oh, I want to cry now. And Natalia, you can pick one as well, my darling. Just before we go, super quick.
If you could read one person's mind, whose would it be? My boyfriend.
Good answer. Or maybe not. All right, guys, we do have to go to a break now. We are going to hear from the rest of you who haven't spoken yet, and you're going to learn more about our resident guests. So do join us after this. Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody, and this is our end of year special where we are getting to know our resident guests on another level because we are actually sharing some challenges that we've had this year with you. So we've also heard, today we've heard from Audrey, we've heard from Rob, Natalia and Hannah. So now I'm going to choose Sunny. Sunny, you are our resident beauty expert on the program.
Yes, I am, yes.
So tell us, what challenges have you faced this year and how have you overcome
I was actually thinking about this morning because this has been the calmest year for 10 years where nothing majorly dramatic happened. And I would say my challenge this year, again, like with loads of people, is tied to my greatest achievement is I've been outside of the show, I've been traveling a lot for other work, and I really, for 6 months, I wasn't home very much at all. So my challenge has been how to have a relationship with your husband, which actually a long-term relationship with your husband, and how to kind of manage basically living in two different places. So that's been a challenge. I'm not going to lie, there's been arguments and it can get tense because you really want to use, like, if you only have 3 days together, you want to use it really well. And you feel like you failed if it's not super fun and amazing. So that's been a challenge. I feel like we got a lot better at it in the last couple of months. But
You must really miss each other though.
yeah, I mean, there's FaceTime. But to be honest, half of the
What about the
time...
FaceTime?
Do you know what? half of the time when I'm on FaceTime, I'm asking him to put my cat on.
Her cat's lovely, by the way. She's lovely. Okay, but you've come through it well.
Yes, and I've got
better.
like good tools for next year. So when the crazy travel starts again, every year I say that I'm not going to do it, but it seems to be getting more and more. But that's a good thing for my career. But it's for home life, and I go through a period of nesting. Once the crazy travel stops, I go through a massive period of nesting. I'm in that nesting phase right now.
Good. Well, enjoy it, my love.
Yeah.
Okay, so Helen, let's hear from you. Any challenges this year that you've had to face?
Yeah, so I travelled a lot, as in flying, for work, to see my dad, various things, see family, all over the place. And gradually I felt very uncomfortable about flying, and then it developed into an irrational fear, which was bizarre because I absolutely love it. At first, jump on a plane, I'd be there, and it really began to bother me. So I decided, right, take the bull by the horns, and it wasn't to take a big flight. So I booked a small flight. It was actually a 4-seater, and it used to be Blackpool Airport, I think. That's what it used to be, and went up in a small charter plane, which I felt terrified, to be quite honest.
It's actually scarier than going in a big plane.
It so is, because when you go through the clouds, it's a real energy force. So you really bump around.
Got throwing yourself in the deep end.
I did, but I got through it. I was a bit ill. I won't go to say too much, but I just managed to do it. It was for about an hour, and I actually feel quite excited. So it wasn't too deep rooted.
Yeah.
But from someone who was travelling so much, it just seemed really strange. But actually speaking to friends and family, it's not that uncommon, I think.
Well done. Because we do talk about overcoming fears, don't we, especially with our psychologists here.
So
And it's like
it
the
is.
fact
So I
that
do feel like someone took me out of my comfort zone. And
you took yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I like
well
to do
done.
that. Thank
Amazing.
you.
Okay. Let's hear from Severine now. By the way, Helena is our news correspondent on the programme, yes. And Severine is another one of our nutritionists on the show.
Yes.
He was very happy to be on TV. Right, it was one of your dreams, wasn't it?
It
be on
was,
TV.
yeah.
So what challenges have you faced this year?
This year I studied actually very poorly because I studied with a flu, and it took me the whole month of January to recover. But that allowed me to reassess the way I was working and how much energy I was spending just commuting. So I was walking to my clinic and coming back walking. And I loved it because I was able to clear my head, arrive, be just listening to my clients. And on the way back, just again, never brought any work home. So that was amazing. So I decided to change the way I was working. So doing all my sessions online. And it was amazing because that allowed me to get so much more energy that I doubled my business. So a bit of a achievement on the way. And then I was able to work full time in terms of part time. Yeah. But the biggest challenges was that I put on weight as a result. Because obviously when you don't do 2 hours of exercise per day anymore, then yes.
Yeah, okay.
So next challenge for next year is how to reintroduce, some kind of exercise to lose back all the weight.
I'm sure you're going to work it out.
I've already worked out something. Yes.
Oh, you have? Okay.
The plan for next year, yes.
Brilliant. Oh, well done.
Thank
for changing.
you.
I mean, it's great. You've managed to double your business just by making that small change.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes it just takes a few changes. Very small. I was very hesitant about going completely online because most clients, they want to see you face to face. And then it really depends on the quality of the internet. So if it's really simple as clicking on the link, and it's just like, wow, it makes such a difference for everyone. And they have no excuse not to turn up because they can do it from their living room and that's it. So I've got a lot more compliance, better results.
Oh, amazing.
I mean, it was all about the challenges, sorry, but
Yeah, that's okay. You can talk about your
It's part of the achievement as well.
No problem. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's now hear from Dr. Nihara Kraus, who is our clinical psychologist on the programme. Yes. I know you've achieved so many things, but tell us first of all about some challenges maybe that you faced, Nihara.
I guess before I kind of mention my challenges, I want to kind of just mention a quote because I kind of guide the way I work and the way I think by this quote. And the quote says, "You can't change the direction of the wind, but but you can change the direction of your sails to get to your destination.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I try to deal with the challenges that I face. So I've had a work challenge. Apart from my clinical work, I have a charity. I am a CEO of a charity. And whilst the British population are enormously generous, charities have had enormous competition to face this year. There's quite a lot of charity fatigue. It's difficult to fundraise. So my big challenge has been to really permit the charity to grow and to have a really robust funding stream. So I've had to think about all sorts of different ways to do that. And it's been great, but it's been exhausting and really time consuming. And on the personal side, my 15-and-a-half-year-old has just discovered boys, and she's in the middle or preparing for her GCSEs. So, hey.
That is a big one, isn't it?
It is.
Any idea how you're going to deal with it yet? It's not yet.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, maybe let us know on the next show.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Meryl, I just see you nodding there when Nihal was talking about the charity work and everything. So tell us, you also.
Yes, definitely.
Tell us who you are first of all, for the benefit of the viewers that don't know.
I'm Marilyn Hawes. I was CEO of Enough Abuse, which was a charity. I got so frustrated, as you're saying, with the lack of funding. People don't want to put their money in their pockets for child abuse. It's almost like guilty by association, unless you're one of the bigger charities, of course. So I decided to change to a CIC, which is a community interest corporation. That means you don't have trustees and your directors can work for you, earn money for you. And my golly, we have gone up in a massive trajectory, ended the year on a huge high, linked to Crime Stoppers, major organisation, sports organisation, it's national and international. I could not have imagined. So that's on the work front. It was, as you say, a massive challenge. And my husband, who sat over there, I would not know what to do without him. But on a personal challenge, how do you keep smiling? You have to. And I'm like Rob, positive, but I can also dip. But I didn't expect within the space of a fortnight in the summer, my husband to have had a whole knee replacement, which you know, because he loves to show his scar.
Yeah, I've seen his scar,
But I didn't expect two of my four children, one who was in Singapore and one in New York, both to collapse on the same weekend with life-threatening illnesses and have to catch a plane. Which way do I go? Not knowing they were going to survive. And that was a husband who couldn't walk with his knee. I just had to get on a flight, and I just decided, well, it has to be the one with the grandchildren, the babies. So I had to go to Singapore, but the time lag finding out if my son was in and out of intensive care, it was horrendous, quite frankly. And I was surprised because I'm quite resilient, but it took me a good 5-6 weeks to overcome when I got back, knowing they were well, to overcome that. And but you have to keep going, and tenacity does pay off. And I will never give up with anything, and I never give up hope. And I always say to people, and I always say to my children, never take anyone's hope away. It may be the last thing they've got to hold on to. And I will never give up that hope that somewhere out there is a man with a fat wallet who's going to be our philanthropist for all our struggling charities. And my biggest challenge is sat here with 3 nutritionists and a fitness expert, none of which I do. And the blue shoes, and sat next to Rob trying to keep a straight face here is just very challenging. It's great to be here.
Marion. Just so, this is exactly what I'm talking about, because you see all of these lovely guests and they're giving you advice every single week. You're hearing great things from them. You apply the tips that and we do get emails from our viewers, obviously, and you know, a lot of people say how much this show is helping them. And this is because of the advice that you're getting from this panel that's here right now. And sometimes you don't know what's going on in their own lives, but it's just to show you that everybody goes through things. Everybody has their problems. They go through things that they weren't expecting. But the main thing is don't give up, because you will come through. And as you all have with different things. All right, some problems were smaller this year for some, others bigger. But I know, Sani, the other years for you were really difficult. So this year's been kind of calm for you. But, you know, everybody goes through stuff. But this is just proof to show you that you can do it, you can get through. I think we've got time for one more. Lily, right now, please. Tell us about yourself, how you're one of our resident nutritionists.
Yes, absolutely.
Any challenges this year?
Yeah, so it's been a pretty busy year, and one of the things I've been thinking about doing for the last 2 years is embarking on another degree in nutrition. So I've started a postgraduate degree, but it's been quite stressful alongside being a full-time nutritionist. But you know, my goal is to give really good evidence-based nutrition advice, which is top quality. So that's why I've done it. But at the same time, I've really had to learn to say no to people. I've struggled with that, and I often procrastinate a lot, which doesn't help with things. So yeah, it's pushed me into really setting boundaries and time management.
Would you say you've grown as a person from that, actually learning to say no?
I think so. It was really my sister who sent me a quote saying, say no to people, you can't do everything. And I'm a yes person, and that makes me very anxious, and it's not a good thing. So yeah, it has helped me grow as a person. And I think that, you know, it's important to follow your dreams and do exactly what you've achieved, well, aiming to achieve, but also it's not possible to do everything.
Yeah, that's
so yeah.
Brilliant. Great. So all the best with your degree. When do you finish?
I've spread it out over a couple of years.
Okay.
So hopefully 2 or 3 years, which helps a lot.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, we are going to hear more from our resident guests. We're going to go to a quick break. So do join us after this. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, host of the UK's only TV programme dedicated to mental health and well-being, The Chrissy B Show, which airs on MyTV Sky 191 every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Follow our social media on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter at Chrissy B Show, and our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. For more information, visit chrissybshow.tv. Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody, and it is our end of year special where we are speaking about our achievements and challenges this year. So now it's time to hear from our resident business expert, Chelsea Baker.
Hi.
Hello, Chelsea. Now, this lady works super hard. Well, they all work super hard, but I mean, you hardly get any sleep, do you? So tell us about your challenges this year.
Well, my challenge has definitely been with my achievement. As you know, I've been on a huge mentoring mission for the past 5 years now, trying to make mentoring accessible to everyone. And I thought, I have another mentoring vision, and this dream and vision of mine was a little big. And of course I announced it, and then I thought, right, I'm going to have to do this now. How am I going to do this? So my vision this year was to launch the National Mentoring Awards to honour and recognise individuals and organisations who make a difference through mentoring. And then of course I realised there's disability mentoring, there's school mentoring, there's mentoring in universities, there's the armed forces mentoring, startups, corporates. And it was my vision that I should honour and, you know, recognise all these wonderful people who selflessly give their time and effort to mentoring. And it was like, right, how am I going to do this? And of course now the challenges to raise the money. Some of my colleagues here have been saying about raising the funds. It's just been a whirlwind, building a platform to get everybody to enter, nominate, vote. It was amazing to have a website built in Silicon Valley, which was brilliant, but people have been chipping in and helping and supporting. But the challenges that I thought that I'd overcome with National Mentoring Day, I was just blown away by what this year faced. Raising funds, the time management, how do you keep everyone happy? How do you try and recognise and honour all these selfless individuals in every sector of industry, sport, society and the community? And I've really found it very, very challenging, but I'm pleased to say that obviously it's now launched, but it's certainly taken a toll on my sleep and on my purse. But I wanted to make a difference, and I've done it. But this is just having that big dream and that vision. Then you actually have to deliver on it.
Yeah, and you have to make sure that you have that willpower to do it, because when you start something big like that, you have to see it through. Yeah. You can't give up, can you?
I can't. And
when are the awards?
Well, we're open now for nominations, and then the awards are in March, so it's just been full speed ahead. And it's like, I didn't listen to people who said, this is too big. You've created something way too big here. And it was my vision, and I've made it happen without listening to anyone else, because I think that these beautiful individuals who do this work do deserve the recognition. So don't listen to the naysayers, and you just got to keep going and focus, and then, you know, this is why we're here. We all have challenges that we go through, and of course we overcome them, and then it's amazing.
Yes, it is. It's worth it. Anyone else wants to talk about your achievements here? Anything that you've achieved that you haven't spoken about already?
I run 5K regularly now,
well
which is quite a big thing, given that I'm one of those people where I never used to run ever. And, you know, if I run, you better run because something's chasing me, that sort of thing. But I did the Couch to 5K, and now I can do that, and that's something that I was really pleased with.
Brilliant.
But that's at least like inspiring me. And then, like Hannah, I've got my next book out now as well, and that was just out in shops on the 6th of December.
What's the book?
It's The Leader's Guide to Mindfulness.
Amazing. So that's your second book, isn't it?
Second book. It's all about well-being and all about taking time to look after ourselves, try and get some sleep, how to get on with things when things are looking as if they're all being held against you. And it's just been, I think, helpful for me to be writing as well this year.
Brilliant. Well done. Okay. Anyone else want to share any other achievements?
I've started knitting.
Oh, good. Bless
And
him.
I've made some things that are wearable.
Really? Wow, well done.
Can we ask what?
A scarf and a pair of mittens.
Yay! Well done. Okay. Nihara, you were going to say something as well.
Yeah, well, I've developed 2 apps which I'm really proud of. So the first one is to help young people manage their urge to self-harm, and that's had just under 1 million downloads internationally. So that's amazing. It's won about 4 awards this year. And then the second one was out last week, so that was amazing. That's for anxiety, to help children and young people manage anxiety. And on Friday, I was absolutely bowled over because I heard that I'm getting a British honours at the Palace of Westminster.
Congratulations!
So that's really exciting.
We have some special resident guests, don't we, guys? Amazing.
I just realised I won Influential Woman of the Year last week, and I've been so busy I haven't told anyone, and I haven't posted anything. You just reminded me.
That's funny. Marilyn, yes, you've got something as well.
We've produced a film that, because we've got lots of people that work with us, but you can't get to everybody. So this film is a training film on identifying grooming, and it's available on license. So we're selling it into police forces because of their cutbacks with funding. You know, £10 an officer, that sort of thing, to watch this film over a year. And I'm really, really proud of it because it's something I wanted to lay down as a foundation stone, really. And that's all up and running to trade next year as well. Which I'd also forgot about because I've been so busy.
doing stuff.
A school phoned me today to say how, after the training, about 5 different issues had come out from the training, and they had managed to literally infiltrate the very start of an exploitation gang.
Oh, wow.
And they had also found that somebody who had been helping at this school for 2 years is actually a creep, and he's also been arrested. And it's all come from the power of the training. It's we demonstrate it. We're nothing like stuff that comes out of councils. It's very real. I spent 17 years watching a paedophile at play, so I know exactly how to teach it and demonstrate it. So you get days like that, and you think, oh yeah, that is all worth it. It's so worth it when you hear those stories.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, anybody else before I go back to the questions? Or are you keen to? Yes,
maybe
Natalia.
Something on the softer note, just to finish off, like I would say gently. Very nice that people also reach out to me. So many people, how much the program and the fitness aspect also helps them. As well as other part, as you send us, help them to move on with their lives. Even me teaching outside of the program, dance classes, how they help people to cure their diseases and illnesses. And so that's something amazing that I have never even thought of, how people are actually struggling with, for example, cancer, and just by coming to a dance class, that kind of uplift their spirit. And I was like blown away, because I just come to teach, dance class, not feeling good sometimes myself, and that you see people who are like reaching out to you on Instagram or somewhere saying like, you know, I've just dealt with cancer, or I had anxiety or something else, and your class or whatever was happening helped me to go through certain issues. So I have never looked at it from that side, and something that actually I realized that's what we work for. Like money is amazing because that's what we need, but then at the end of the day, that sort of aspect is something enormous.
Did you see, only yesterday I think they brought up the fact that children that have got anxieties and depressions and all sorts of mental health issues, doing boxing has had a massive impact. And I think that and walking in the fields and stuff, but to be able to get that anger out of you in a structured
positive way. Just what we spoke about.
Absolutely.
What got me into boxing. Just in a positive way, how to release my own issues, mental problems, anxieties in a positive way. I have never thought about it. Just this year brought so many positivity and positive messages that I was like, wow, actually, you know, it's not just teaching, or you're not just fitness instructor or personal trainer or dance instructor or whoever else. You actually might be changing someone else's lives and help them to do something.
There's nothing better than that. Like you said, the money, because everyone needs the money, but this actually helping people and getting this feedback from people.
And I post so many messages on my Instagram because I was like, you know, this is the part that I'm the most proud of.
Yeah.
Like this is something that helping people, it give back, it's like the payback.
Yeah, that's good. Question time. Who didn't take a question? Who didn't take? Nihara, you didn't take one, did you?
No.
Okay, go ahead. I don't know what these questions are, by the way.
Right.
Okay. You keep that one.
Right. Okay.
What's your question? A random question, people.
Oh my goodness. What would you do if you had £1 million?
Easy. Give
oh my goodness. Oh, I would. Yes, I would share it. I'd probably put it to my charity.
That's a great question. Okay, right. Chelsea, you didn't take one, did you?
Okay. What have we got here? What's the most useless talent you have? Oh my goodness, I can't think of any talent that I've got that's useless. Well, I rock my hair to sleep. So maybe
okay.
That's useless.
Okay, cool. Next, who hasn't taken it?
Unusual.
Yeah. What is a weird habit that you have? Okay. Weird habit. Maybe I don't know what weird habit I've got. Someone can tell me.
Shall we tell you what weird
Watch it!
Always nodding on the critique.
Oh, I have one.
Yeah, go on. Oh, yes. Yeah, Helena can't wave like a normal person. She can't do this. She has to do this.
Yeah, that is your weird habit. I think that's what it is.
That's it. Royal wave. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That was a good one.
It's a strange question.
Okay. Let's see.
Sunny.
Are you going to hold it for me? Oh, this is long. Tell us about something you did in the past that you thought was a good idea, but that you'd never do again. Kids watch this show, right? The list is very long. A clean thing, a family-friendly thing that I have done that I'm never going to do again. It's got to do with, I don't know. Most things I would actually do again.
Oh, okay. No regrets.
I'm quite adventurous.
Okay.
Most things I would do again.
We'll let you think about that one then.
Come on, we got cake and donuts.
Oh, well, I was in Amsterdam this weekend and I overate like crazy.
Okay.
And I actually, I will do that again.
All right, next. Who hasn't had a question?
Make it nice, make it easy.
Oh, what would be a perfect afternoon for you? Oh my goodness, sat down with a vat of wine with my feet up, eating peanuts and all the things that nutritionists wouldn't eat.
Peanuts are good for you.
I know, yes, they
the
are,
unsalted
aren't they?
ones.
But no, a lovely quiet afternoon, listen to music without having to walk the dog pestering me.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, a vat of red wine, lovely.
Okay. Who hasn't had a question? Severine, did you take one? Rob, you had one, didn't you?
I don't want another one, thank you.
Okay.
Wow, what the weirdest thing you have ever eaten?
Oh, nice question for nutritionists.
Okay, it's not weird, but I had shark in Australia.
Okay. Oh.
And I would say that's the weirdest one. Or I think it was hamster in Peru.
Oh,
no,
that's
this
weird.
one was, that was the weirdest stuff.
Oh gosh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to UK
I'm curious.
TV? Okay, that's fine. All right, we're going to go to a quick break, and then afterwards, Lily, you haven't answered a question, have you? Okay, so hold that thought. And who else hasn't answered a question? Everyone else has, right? Okay, so do join us after this. Welcome back to the final part of today's program, everybody, where we are speaking about our achievements and challenges that we've had this year. So our resident guests have answered some questions that they didn't know what they were. Now we've got Lily to answer her question that she's picked out of the box, or you're picking out of the box.
If you could have any kind of pet, what would you have? And I've actually been looking at cats at the moment because I really want to get one, but a really fluffy white cat called Nutmeg.
Nutmeg already. Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, thank you, everybody. So now it's time to put your party hats on. I know we did, because we were talking about serious stuff before. Don't worry, you're not going to do anything. We're just putting the hats on, because now we're going to talk about something different. Okay, you're ready. Okay, so we're just putting our hats on, everybody. Okay, so we're just getting into the end of year party spirit now. That's why we've got our hats on. How's my hair? Is it all right? Okay. So now I would just like everybody, whoever wants to speak now can speak, and I would like to ask you what it means to you to be part of this program. Anyone can speak.
It's an opportunity to make a difference, because you don't know who you might be helping or how you might be helping, but it's a way of connecting.
Okay, lovely. Anybody else who'd like to share?
It's a lot of fun, and people in the green room are lovely, and you're very easy to sit on a show with, because you're very comfortable to be with, and you're not judgmental, and you don't look shocked at anything, and it's very easy to be on your show.
Oh,
and the donuts are great.
Yeah, definitely the donuts, right? Okay, who else would like to
I love it because it's our time to pass on all the things that we've learned, our experiences, and pass that on to the viewers at home so that they can, it's like a form of mentoring for me. So I'm passing on my knowledge and wisdom that I've learned through setbacks and challenges and giving it over to the viewers in the hope that they can learn something as well, a benefit from the hell that I've been through on various challenges and upheavals in my life. So and you're just a pleasure to work with, absolutely inspirational.
Now I do share emails with you sometimes from our viewers who write in, and they tell us what an impact this show you're right there, Severine, what impact this show is having on their lives. How does that make you feel?
Lovely to hear it. The feedback's so important. We know we're doing something right.
I was going to say that getting the feedback from viewers is very reassuring, because it means that people are watching us. And
there is someone there.
Okay.
But on a serious note, I think for me it's like this is what I call my TV family. It's like coming up to a special family that I learn something every week. I hope that I'm able to help people every week. It's a fabulous opportunity to meet with experts in other fields, and I described it's like going for a massage. Really, it's like having a bit of respite from the trials and tribulations of everyday life, because it's such fun here, and it is just. I'd like to prescribe this.
Good idea, Rob. Yeah, good idea.
I don't think the NHS would let me, but I'll give it a go.
I just wanted to say as well, I mean, I have said this before, but not when you're all here, that not anybody becomes a resident guest on this program. I'm quite particular about who has come on, because I'll be honest with you, there have been, unfortunately, some frogs along the way where, people come to you and they say they want to help and stuff like that, and it's all been about them and their interests, and things got shown in the end, and I saw who people really were. Everybody here, I find, is very genuine, and they all have something in common in that they want to help people in some way. And that is very, very important for this program. None of these guests get paid for being on this program. I can be very open. We are sponsored by a charity. We don't make any profit on this program. In fact, everything is sponsored. I won't say it's running out of loss, but we're not making any money whatsoever. So all of these guests come on, some of them every week, some of them monthly, some of them every 2 weeks. They take their time to come here to prepare things for you, and that's what it's all about. It's about that giving element. And why do they do it? It's because they want to help people, and I'm sure you feel good about helping people in some way, don't you? Absolutely. So, I just wanted to thank all of you so much. I wish we could have had everybody here. We've got 5 of our resident guests missing. But I just want to thank all of you for the time that you put into this program, for all the preparation that you do. I know some of you have to do a lot of research, like Helena, with the news and everything. And this is what makes the program, because I couldn't do it without you. I couldn't do the show. We can't sit there speaking for a whole hour, right? And we have different elements. We try to cover all different angles of mental health and well-being, because I know personally, and some of them know as well personally, how it is to have mental health issues. I know, Natalia, you've been through things yourself as well. And, we know what it's like. And we know that with the right support and with the right advice and with the right kind of tips, you can get better. And we don't want any of you thinking that, things are so bad that you might as well end it all, because, there's so much to live for, isn't there? Absolutely. There's nothing that you can't overcome. As I said, everybody here is here to help you. Whether it's nutrition, whether it's fitness, whether it's psychology, whether it's business, anything at all, we're all here to help you. So I just want to thank you all so much for being part of this program.
Thank you.
I think we need to end it there. Oh, I didn't talk about my challenges and stuff. Maybe I'll talk about it another time, because I can say quickly, actually. I have had a few challenges this year, one of which, as you all know, I used to have help on the program in terms of producers, but then 2 of my producers moved on, and then I was basically told that we weren't going to have any other producers. So this for me was like, I have to keep going, the show has to go on. But it was like a challenge, because I had to think, oh my God, how am I going to put all of these things together? How am I going to get the topics? How am I going to get the guests? All of these things, and also present the show. But somehow, when you're put in that situation, you either sink or swim, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And somehow, with a bit of extra thinking, managed to actually put everything together. And what's really helped is actually having you guys on. I know some of you now are coming on more regularly, but the fact that I also have these guests here has really helped me keep the show going, because I always have lots and lots of knowledge here and expertise that we share with you on the show. So it was that battle, the mental battle, really, like, is this going to be all right? Are we going to be able to go on? And we have gone on, and it's been really good, and they've been so good and supportive, and with getting back to me quickly with things. So it's they've been such a big help for me as well. And the other thing, I know some of you talked about books, right? I have been trying to publish a book for ages and ages. The book is finished. Yay. However, the cover got rejected and the photograph got rejected by the publisher, so I had to go back to the drawing board. So that's been kind of like a bit of a struggle for me, but I know it's going to get there in the end. I'm not going to give up, because I know this book is going to help a lot of you out there. So that's all I had to say. Everybody, you need a party popper in your hands. Okay. We have party poppers over here.
Okay.
So we will be continuing with our program next year, so do tune in for more of our topics. If you have a topic that you would like to pass me one, please. If you have a topic, everybody got one? Yeah. Does everyone have one? If you have a topic that you would like to share on the program, or if you have a story that you would like to share, please do get in touch with us on info@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet or Instagram us @Chrissy B Show, or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And if you'd like to know more about my mental health journey, all you need to do is visit my personal website, which is mylifeafterdepression.com. Until next time, bye-bye for now.